So hey guys, so here is the start of my Raptor slides that I made back in June while the Raptors were in the run for their championships, which they did inevitably win. I wanted these slides to basically still be very artistic, very one of a kind. Didn't want to use anything like logos or Raptors symbols outside of the actual dinosaur itself and the claw marks. So used DeClaser, 2 coats of white Angelus paint, and then I sketched out my design as you could see earlier in the video. Basically, this was my first time ever drawing a dinosaur, ever doing anything like this. I wanted it to be a little bit realistic with a little bit of that comic book feel with the dark black outlines. I think I achieved this. If you think that I did, let me know in the comments below how you think the outlook of this was at the end of the video. So as you'll notice, I actually decided to paint the background of the slides first, both the background and the lettering, over painting the claw marks and the raptor first. I did this because the colors that I was going to be using in the background were very opaque. So even if I did mess up a little bit on the actual foreground designs, I knew that those colors would easily be covered up by my 2 background colors. However, because I knew I was outlining these in black as well, I had a little bit of leeway if I were to stray outside of the lines for where those 2 foreground designs were gonna go. But again, once I kind of have an idea, I am pretty steady with my hand. I don't usually have an issue painting outside of where I actually want my design to be. But again, I knew that if I had made a slight mistake, that it would easily be covered up by the red or the black that I was using. So doing these claws, I did make them look very cartoonish, comic book-esque, again with those black lines. So when I went over to do the actual raptor itself, I still had this idea of making him look realistic, so I tried my best to make sure that his skin looked very realistic, but I knew in the end it was going to have a little bit of that comic book feel because I was going to outline it in black as well. I would say the hardest part of painting out this raptor would be the mouth and the teeth. Again, I've never drawn a dinosaur. I've never painted a dinosaur before. I don't feel like it was too difficult for me to get the texture and the color on the actual skin and the scales, but the teeth were really difficult. I do have a little bit of trouble with that 3D kind of effect, not even 3D, but that more realistic effect where you could see that the mouth was open with the actual correct depth and look of it. So the teeth, making them go around the mouth and making it look like that's what it was doing without being super flat was something very difficult for me. This was, again, my first time. I think I did a pretty good job. Let me know what I can do next time to improve. And I'll just note that I did not have a tiny brush. The brush that I was using was the smallest one that I had at the time. I have an actual smaller one and I completely destroyed it, not cleaning it properly, so it was of no use to me at this moment. So I used the smallest brush that I could find and tried my best to get those teeth to come out properly. Again, guys, let me know what you think of this final outcome of these slides. Let me know what you think I can improve. I would love to hear some feedback and use it on my next one. Peace.